What's up, team? Hope you guys are doing good today. Let me know if you can hear the music. We're starting a little bit early. Today is AMC's earnings, so we're going to be covering that. We're covering SQ as well, so we're going to be covering AMC and SQ today. There's a few other ones that we got to look at as well. So yeah, let's see what we get. We're going to go ahead and do our Twitter poll that we do every day here regarding the AMC earnings. AMC's got Q2 earnings dropping today. Yeah, let me know what your expectations are. We're also going to do polls on this stream as well. I don't know. I stay on top. We'll see, brother. We'll see, man. But yeah, the CEO has been insinuating that they might have a good release for AMC today, and we will see about that. I'm not sure. Calls or puts today on AMC? No, calls or puts? On the Twitter poll that we got, that we normally do. And yeah, we'll see what we get on the rest of the fronts. Hey, what's up, Jeremy? Hey, what's up, Asmir? Could it be a swing? It could be. I mean, we'll see, you know. Y'all give me a follow on Twitter. AMC currently sitting at 1920s right now, 1920s. Yeah. Let me see what happens here. We did a poll for AMC earlier. 92% people thought it would break 20 today. And we still got time for this earnings report. Yeah. We are streaming right now as we speak as well. And we got the earnings report coming pretty soon. It's going to be dropping after 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're also going to be covering the block earnings as well, if we can. Again, we just did our Twitter poll. Vote on the poll. We said it's time. AMC Q2 earnings are live soon. Calls or puts. Vote on the poll right now. We're also going to post this on Twitter if we can. Here's the poll. Open it up in a new tab. But there's the poll. The AMC earnings call is going to be going live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, guys. So yeah. Also reporting today is SQ or block. Again, you got AMC currently at 1920s. The Q is at 324s. I might actually trade a little bit as well if we can. We might get some trades involved here. We'll see. Again, vote on the poll right now. So far on the poll, we got 60% saying calls, 40% saying puts. We'll see what happens. Q is ramping up, though, today. Market looks great. SPY looks good. AMC up to 1920s. So AMC had a pretty good pre-market, pretty good day before. Currently sitting at 1920s. Again, we got the SPY itself currently at right around 415s. We got this poll going on, bullish or bull or bear on AMC Q2 earnings. We got the poll in chat. Vote on that as well. Yeah, Tesla shareholder meeting is going to be at 5:30 Eastern as well. SPY looking a little choppy with tech running big. We're currently just jumped into a SPY position here. On this dip, we're in 50 shares of the SPY. We'll see if this works. So we get a little bit bigger dip here. All right, we just bought another 25 shares. We're in 75 shares of the SPY. Let's see if it holds 75 shares. We might get up to 100 shares of the SPY here if we want. Hey, what's up, Swervin? All right, so we're in 75 shares of the SPY right now. Buying this dip, we're going to go ahead and add one more lot to it. There's 100 shares of the SPY. See if we get a bounce. We'll see what we get. It's about a $40,000 position, but you know, we're scalping this, so you know, we'll see what we get. We're just looking for a bounce, maybe up to like 85s, 75s, 85s here. If we catch that, then we're happy. Q had a pretty good day following once I stepped away. I'm pretty glad I didn't trade the broader market today, though. The market is honestly just really slow. Not really any good big action. At first, I thought it was green, but looking at it now, it's just pretty sideways and choppy. And so the more you force that, the harder it's going to be. APDN went crazy, yeah, for sure. APDN went all the way up to almost 750s. So big movement there as well. A little bit quiet of a day outside of that. Yeah, SQ earnings should be interesting. I like SQ as a company. So again, our plan right here with the SPY is to let it test the previous closing price. Of course, it could just go against me. If it does, it's all good. It's a relatively small risk position. I mean, again, you know, we're at 100 shares of the SPY. So in terms of like buying power used, we're using about 40,000. But like, we're scalping this. Our risk isn't huge here. And we're going to give it time over the next 30, 45 minutes. Let it bounce back up. Hopefully, it's going to move up there and form you know, a range break on the upside of that 415 level in the SPY. And, you know, I can be patient with this. If we look at the previous closing price here, you know, we're right around that level now. And so I think that's a really good risk level that I can use just to let this trade play out. Hey, what's up, Armand? I never saw Top Gun. I saw the new Jurassic Park. We ended up renting the new Jurassic Park here. But yeah, I'm pretty bullish on AMC. I've been a pretty big bull of AMC since it was in the teens. Once AMC broke into the teens, I think considering the size of the following, it's just an easy buy. I think it's been an easy buy. I think AMC, especially when it's down to like 12 or 13 bucks, there's just obvious value there. And I know AMC's got a lot of haters and like, I get it. But in the end, AMC has a ridiculous following of supportive customers. You know, like a lot of the people that hold AMC stock, they support the movies. They support the theaters. And when you have a following that big, you know, I tend to think that when it gets down to the teens, the 12s, the 13s, the 14s, it's pretty cheap. And sure enough, I was correct about that. And we moved up to test the top up there at 20s. The other question, though, is just whether it ends up doing well on this specific earnings release. And who knows? We'll see. It might not, though. You never know with earnings, you know, especially in this recent market, man. The market's just been strange. All right, so we're going to get ready to cut the SPY trade. We start pulling back down to test VWAP again. The market's just incredibly choppy. You know, we're going to lose maybe 15 bucks on the day, break-even day altogether. So, you know, all good either way. We're not going to worry too much about this small position. But, bam, look at APD at 650s. AMC dipping down a little bit, kind of following the broader market here. Holding for 2 years. All right, guys. So SPY pumped back up, back over the previous closing price. We'll hope it holds here. All right, so yeah, back to the SPY again. We can be patient with this. I do want to see it move up there to test the top of that 415 level, the top of that range at 415s. Again, earnings are going to be dropping in about 33 minutes for these. SQ as well. We're covering SQ also, and we'll pull up SQ chart as well pretty soon. Once we're done messing around with the SPY here. Hopefully we can just consolidate over the VWAP and maintain these levels. Yeah, and it looks like, honestly, I appreciate you guys because y'all came to the same conclusion. Discord, shout out to you, Discord, because y'all came to the same conclusion I did, you know, which is we're going to be covering AMC and SQ, but we're going to be live streaming the AMC call for sure. SQ, yeah, everything's going to be dropping after 4 p.m. today. Now, I could add some more to this and take like a $50 risk, and I think I will. All right, we're at 150 shares of the SPY, guys. 150 shares of the SPY, testing the previous closing price. It is a sizable position, but again, we're only risking about 50 bucks here, and I'm okay with that risk. But we're sizing in here, hoping that we hold over the previous close, and if we don't, we'll just quickly cut it and move on with the day, and no stress either way. Taking a calculated risk here. 150 shares of the SPY. And again, in terms of just buying power pure here, this is about 65K or so in this position. So we'll see if it can go well. But again, that's not what I'm actually risking. A lot of people misunderstand risk reward versus buying power used. And I'm not risking anywhere near to that. I might be risking 50 bucks max here in this trade. Yeah, right over the previous closing price, we're bouncing up. The real key is whether I can be patient if I start to go into the green, you know, with 150,000 or 150 shares and, you know, this much BP. That's the real question, is if I can be patient. AMC bouncing too, and AMC should follow the broader market here. All right, so there we go. We're green in the trade for the first time. And again, I'm going to try to be patient. Okay. I like that. All right, we're going to take half or a third of it off. So we took a third of it off. And we'll let the rest work. See if we can move up there. Again, the goal of this is to get up there to the 415 level if we can. You know? SQ pump it up as well. SQ just broke over 950s here too. All right, so we'll come back to the SPY trade. Again, we're in 100 shares of SPY still. But here's SQ, man. And SQ is pumping up, been breaking highs all day. 30 minutes until the AMC earnings report too. So AMC SQ earnings are dropping today. What other ones are we dropping? I need the earnings graphics, man. I always miss the earnings graphics here. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. All right, guys. So yeah, the other earnings today, let me see what we got. I know chat's probably already answered, but we have Twilio, Lyft, Amgen, BYND, Zillow, DoorDash, Dropbox, Chegg, and Carvana also today. So those are also today. I'm trying to be patient with this, but yeah, there's SQ, AMC at 1915s. Yeah, luckily we took profit on the SPY trade and got ourselves to break even. But again, the plan is to hold this. If I lose 30, 40 bucks, it's insignificant, but I want to see if we can test that 415 level and try to be a little bit more patient. I try to be a little bit more patient than I usually trade at the opening bell and after hours, because I think the opening bell is more favorable for scalps as opposed to power hour leading closer to the closing bell. I just think it's less favorable for short-term trades, and you got to let it work a little bit more. Carvana, I think, is a really interesting thing. Growth stock, but I don't know enough about the company to really say here, to be honest, regarding Carvana, in all honesty. So we'll see. But AMC revenue will be up substantially, but we'll still lose money, potentially. Alzheimer's plays will be pushed today after hours after CGTX ran almost 200%. Keep an eye out for small caps under 5. Alzheimer's almost. Thoughts on SQ going into earnings? I think SQ has got a really extended chart on the downside. SQ has gone from essentially $290 per share all the way down to 90 bucks over the last year. And I really like the SQ technology and software. So, yeah, I think SQ is a great stock, but yeah, I think it might be a little bit extended on the downside. And I think looking at the longer term chart, it's reasonable to assume it might be, but you never know in this current market with these current earnings, to be honest. This market, I've covered all the major ones, and indecisive is the best way to describe the latest stock market earnings. AMC pulling back to 19s here. Let's see if it bounces. Judging by our polls here, we're still in the SPY as well with 100 shares. Looking at our poll on Twitter, 70% are saying calls, 30% are saying puts for AMC. Again, the Tesla shareholder meeting is going to be today as well. All right, SQ down to 90.20s as well. So we got that cooking here. Again, SPY down to 414s. Slightly red in it now, but gonna give it time. We still got about 25 minutes before the earnings drop for AMC and for SQ. CNET, BBIG. Man, it's been a while since I've seen even BBIG. Let me see. BBIG, yeah. Yeah, we're probably going to cut the SPY trade we got in. Luckily, we took profit there, so it's a minimal loss. But, yeah, it's just such a choppy day. The goal is, again, a lot of traders, this is what happens to a lot of traders. Like a lot of rookie traders, this is usually what happens to them, is that they trade days like today, but they don't know how to stop, right? Like the signs that today wasn't a favorable day were here really, really early after the opening bell. The signs that today was going to be a choppy day were super evident by 9:30, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. The signs were there that today wasn't a favorable day. And so sometimes what rookie traders do is they'll lose in that first hour. And then when they lose in that first hour, they'll keep pushing. If you guys saw me this morning, what did I do? I completely stepped away. I said, hey, look, this ain't working. The market's sideways. I'm not gonna force trades constantly. That's a rookie mistake. I'm gonna just step away. I don't need to trade any day. I only trade when the favor is there. And so I just stepped away. I didn't force it. I didn't poke too hard at it. I just kind of walked away. And that's something that you need to condition yourself to learn in trading, because every day is not going to be favorable. And if you keep push, you're just going to lose. You're just going to lose. You're going to revenge trade. And it's just not going to work. It's not good for accounts either. And so, when you look at the SPY today, it's one of those days, just not super favorable. Completely sideways, completely choppy, and the signs again were here really early, and so yeah, you just got to be able to see those signs and not get greedy or prideful about it, and just move on with the day. SQ currently at $90. BBIG T12 halt. Let me look at what's that? What is that one? T12 is a additional information requested. Ooh, so the SEC is looking into, or they are looking into BBIG. The NASDAQ is looking into BBIG. That's generally not a great sign at all for BBIG. That's definitely not a good sign. And so they're looking at it for, in terms of like manipulation is most likely what they're looking at it in terms of. And so, yeah, that's definitely not great for BBIG. Let me know what do you guys think is going to happen to BBIG? Let me know. Hey, what's up, Emmanuel? Good morning or good evening, man. I'm so used to saying good morning. All right, guys. So yeah. All right, so SQ pulling back a little bit. AMC bouncing up. Let's see about $19. VWAP is just under $19 at $18.95. The earnings call for AMC is at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Their merger potential partner was supposed to be on an interview, but that was canceled. Where? But yeah, that's not good for BBIG. That's definitely not a good thing, I think, right now. All right, guys. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about AMC right now. Again, we got about 60 votes pretty quickly over the last few minutes, and about 71% are saying calls, 29% are saying puts. Again, vote on the poll right here. You can vote on the poll right here, so check it out. Vote on the poll. Open it up in a new tab, of course, and vote on that poll. Also, if you have not already, hit the like button. We got over 110 people here, and that's pretty solid for earnings. Market is going to drop the earnings in about 21 minutes or so. 21 minutes is when the earnings are going to drop. And so, yeah, let's see what we get, guys. Should be a fun day. I'm ready. Yeah, there's SQ. A lot of people talking about SIGA here. And SIGA flew up today, too. Pretty big percentage moves there as well. Oh, it looks like I actually got the date wrong, or the time wrong, for the AMC release. The call's going to be at 5 p.m., not 5:30. At the very least, we should get some action today regarding AMC. $8.19, $20 calls for AMC. Honestly, should I buy calls? Let's see how should I dare trade calls right I don't know, bro. I really don't know, man. Let's see. August 12th. The thing about options is you got to hold them overnight. That's the biggest problem with options is you got to hold them overnight. You can't sell them. Biggest risk with them. If I could just play the momentum, I'd probably buy a lot more options, but you know, can't really do that. Hey, what's up, Walter? QCOM? Hey, what's up, Chris? All right, guys, 19 minutes before the AMC earnings call happens. It should be fun. Or the earnings report happens, I'm sorry. You can buy options and sell them 30 seconds later. Yeah, but you can't sell them after the closing bell. What do you have, 1 minute to sell? I guess that's what you're referencing, yeah. You get 1 minute, I think, right, after the closing bell to sell your options. Market closes for options at 4:01, right? So, yeah. Should be fun. SQ, guys, down so much. The options for AMC are pretty cheap, too, to be honest. You know, the options for AMC are pretty cheap. You can get a really cheap call option for 140 bucks, you know. Yeah, and the other question is this baked in already, you know, for AMC? AMC starting to dip. Strangles, I guess, would be good. AMD had a sweet day. Yeah, AMD ripped up. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Phil? Hey, welcome, man. Welcome, dude. Yeah, what we do here is like, listen, we're just a resource and community for stocks. Like, we don't charge a penny for anything. We don't claim to be experts. We don't act like gurus. We don't sell courses or services and charge people for any type of content we put out. Everything's free. We're just kind of a free resource and community. We stream every day, trade a $30,000, 120 buying power account, 120,000 buying power account every day at the open. So stick around, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, guys. Again, vote on the poll here as well. We did get this poll going here regarding AMC. And yeah. Should be fun, right? Let's see what we get. Are you going to cover Sega earnings too, if they're today? Yes. Here's SQ, another one we're going to cover. It's pulling back a little bit pre-bell. All right, guys, so SQ pulling back. AMC down under $19 a share. Yeah, nothing's guaranteed, especially in this last few weeks, man. This last few weeks has been crazy. Stocks have been posting earnings beats and then crashing down like AMD, and then stocks have been posting like bad or mixed results and then ripping up big. It's just been a weird week, man. Most of it's guidance related. Like again, earnings plays are all relative to guidance. You know, it's mostly relative to guidance and as well as expectations. And so, you know, a company can lose 100 million, but if they thought they were going to lose 200 million, it'll still probably go up. Nerve, NERV. I've traded the trend and all I do is lose. What trend are you trading, man? All right, guys, 14 minutes until the earnings report drops pretty soon. SQ up to 89, it's bouncing back up. AMC still testing that $19 level. We'll see if it actually holds. And I'll tell you this, Lori, I'll tell you this, man. All right, and try to objectively listen to what I'm about to say, okay? Because not many other people will tell you what I'm about to say. All right. A lot of new traders enter the stock market, and they end up just buying and investing in penny stocks. And penny stocks are terrible companies. There are a reason they're penny stocks. There are a reason they're cheap companies. Is because they're obscure. They're most of the time not really profitable, and the catalysts that these penny stocks drop are all really sensationalized. You know, so if you go around investing into these penny stocks like they're healthy companies, you're gonna lose money. You know, that's just an inevitable thing. If you go on YouTube, everybody's gonna say it's the next Amazon, right? But if you look at the actual success rate of the people saying these things, if you go back historically and just kind of look back at all the stocks that they said were gonna 50x or 100x, you'll kind of see the real story there, you know. And it's kind of one of those things where nobody really likes to look at it objectively because, frankly, there's just a lot of emotion tied up into it, brother. And so, you know, if you want a way to make money in the stock market, the easiest way to make money is to buy healthy blue chip companies and buy and hold for 5 to 10 years. You research healthy companies that you analyze to be successful in 5 or 10 years. You buy and hold and sit on them for 5 or 10 years. That's the most surefire way to make money in the stock market. You're almost guaranteed to make money if you do that. Where it's like if penny stocks, you buy random penny stocks, you know. And again, it's something that not a lot of people really want to hear because it kind of hurts to hear sometimes. But like the truth hurts, and it's something that, you know, if you really want to make money, that's the real thing to understand. Is that a lot of sensationalism out here. All right, SQ up to 89.80s here, guys. AMC dipping down to 18.80s as well. So AMC starting to dip. Put the bigger chart here for AMC up. We can even make the chart a little bit larger on that way there too. That's better. Yeah, all good, man. Well, the stream's right now, Mike. You're in the stream currently. The actual earnings report's dropping in about 12 minutes, and then the earnings call is going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so in about an hour and 12 minutes. All right, guys. Again, about 10 minutes until the earnings report drops for SQ for AMC. We're going to be covering it exactly how it happens live as soon as it drops. AMC currently at 18.17s. And again, vote on our poll here. We asked everybody on the stream, specifically bull or bear on AMC. 79% are bullish. Good to see. 21% are bearish. If we look at crypto specifically or Bitcoin or something like that. SQ running up almost to $90. AMC dipping down. It's at 1870s, guys. 1870s. Bitcoin down at 22.5 right now. 22.4K. So Bitcoin's falling too. All right, team. All right, guys. AMC dipping down to 1870s under VWAP now. Under VWAP. SQ, on the other hand, is ripping up big in pre-market right now, or big in power hour. They were saved by the crazy squeeze. Yeah. I've been holding my Rivian and been making out my entry. Was last month was at $22. Nice, man. Hey, congrats. That's good. That's good. Again, if we look at what's his name's tweets regarding AMC, if we look at what's his name's tweets, let's take a look at him. If we look at Ron's tweets here, let me pull it out. I keep having a hard time finding it. They've been pumping Bullet Train with Brad Pitt and Sandra Bullock a lot, exclusively for AMC Stubs members. Comes out August 7th, and so I think there's going to be hype leading into that. Marvel's official teaser was watched 28 million times in 17 hours for Black Panther 2. And so hopefully these are all good signs here regarding AMC, and it's up to 1880s right now. We'll see if it actually holds these levels. Calls or puts today, guys. Calls or puts. Since I lost 40K this past week, should I stop? Because I feel like I'm going to keep bleeding out. What are you trading, Luray? What are you trading, brother? It really depends on what you're doing, man. It depends on what you're doing, brother. If you're trading penny stocks, almost certainly you should stop, in my personal subjective opinion. If you're trading penny stocks and you're losing money and you're investing in them and day trading them and you're losing 40K, yeah, you should stop. Regardless of anything, though, if I were you, I would scale down my size at the very minimum. You know, if you have anything less than a year's experience, you should never be trading the sizing you're using. No offense. You know, like a lot of new traders enter, and one of the things that hurts new traders the most is that they're taking ridiculous size. Like, listen, you should be buying 10 shares if you've had less than a year of trading. 10, 5, 10, 15, 20 shares. That's it. And it's all relative to price, not of Tesla. And so it really depends, man. Child, we have one more word. It's not that I can't use it. It's that, like, one thing you'll see me is I stray completely away from political stuff. Like, I don't like talking about politics at all. And anything that's polarizing politically, I avoid saying it, you know. And so, you know, it's not that I'm not allowed to. It's that I choose not to because I'd rather just stay safe, you know. I'd rather just stay safe. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it's not earnings come out in about 6 minutes, guys. 6 minutes before the AMC numbers drop. Yeah, I just say MP for that. But yeah, again, new traders trade small. There's no reason you should be taking ridiculous size, trying to look cool gambling in the stock market. Like, it takes years to learn how to trade, and the larger you trade when you're learning, the more you're going to lose. It doesn't make any sense to trade that big in the beginning of your trading career. I get it. We romanticize profit and loss on social media, and I understand that. And so I think a lot of new traders, they enter it and they just want to flash big gains like their favorite guru. But the problem is that your favorite guru put in the work to flash those gains, and it takes years to be successful. And a lot of people are never going to make money in that way, you know? And so stop worrying about it and just trade small and try to really learn, you know? Like, that's the reality of it. Just trade small, man. There's nothing wrong with it. Anybody that shames you for trading too small is just insecure about their own profits, to be completely real. You know, I don't care how big or small somebody trades. If they're new, they should trade small, you know? Yeah, Coinbase, man. Look at Coinbase, bro. Coinbase, again, another one of Cathie Wood's investments trading exits I disagree with. She sold Coinbase like 2 weeks ago, and I disagreed with it at the time. If you guys remember, she announced that they sold Coinbase, ARK sold Coinbase, and I'm like, why would you sell Coinbase now? If you're going to hold through the whole crash, why would you sell it at the bottom? So you're literally buying stuff at the top and then selling it at the bottom. Makes no sense. It's the opposite of what you should be doing. To be honest, Coinbase looked like a value play where it was, and I told you guys this, and it was right. Coinbase ramped up, you know. So Kathy Woods is probably over there just struggling right now. But man. Yeah, the earnings are going to be played here. The earnings call is going to be streamed here live, Gerard. We're also going to go through the results as soon as they happen for AMC, tell you exactly what the results were reported all on the screen and in the comments, as well as drop all the other earnings results that we get for SQ and for, what's the other one today? SQ and Lyft, Twilio, Expedia, BYND, DoorDash, Dropbox, SQ, Carvana. But AMC is taking priority for sure. Yeah, that's why the SARK ETF is so popular, because this is basically the opposite of what Kathy Woods is doing. Look. This is the opposite of what Kathy Woods is doing right here. This is a beautiful chart, to be honest. This is a beautiful chart, man. Yeah, for sure, Christian. Yeah, we're going to do SQ. Well, I don't know about streaming the earnings call for SQ. They're both at the same time, unfortunately. I'll give you the link, though. I got you, Christian. I'll send you the link for the earnings call if you want to watch it. We're gonna report so Alice says, can we focus on SQ since they report it first? I'm just gonna report everything as soon as it happens. So whatever reports there is first, I'm gonna cover it, and I'll tell you guys everything as soon as it comes out. Again, you should join us we do these earnings call multiple times a week, and so we're gonna cover it as soon as it drops, and we're gonna post it, and you'll see it, guys. Don't worry. So yeah, BBIG getting investigated by NASDAQ. All right, guys, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Thank you. Do I have to pay? $0.00, sir. You know. All right, team. You guys ready? Let's do this. 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes before the earnings come out. What earnings do we have next week? I know we got some big earnings next week, too. I think we have even bigger earnings next week than we had this week. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. Hit the subscribe button. All right, next week we got Palantir, Tyson, Monday, Party City, Treehouse, CLVS. All right, guys. Less than a minute. Hit the like button. Yeah, do me a favor. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the notification bell. Let's do this. All right, guys. Earnings are about to drop. We are about to drop here. All right, guys. Everything's about to happen, guys. Let me know what you're watching here. Again, earnings are about to drop live at 4 p.m. We got everything ready. All right, guys. There's the bell. There's the bell. Waiting for the numbers to drop now for AMC. Nothing out yet. We're looking at SQ. Nothing out yet for that one. Again, we got TWLO dropping their numbers as well. Lyft, Beyond Meat. All right, so there's AMC post bell at 1860s. Let's put up SQ as well. 1880s for AMC. SQ at 89.90s here. Nothing yet. Still waiting for the earnings to drop for AMC. Still waiting. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. Still waiting for the AMC numbers. SQ hasn't dropped theirs yet. Still watching for that one here. TWLO, nothing yet. Lyft is pushing up. We'll see if Lyft is out with theirs. Lyft isn't out for theirs yet either. Still waiting on the AMC numbers. AMC up to 1880s. 1880s. Still watching for SQ. Nothing yet for any of these. Lyft, SQ. We've got AMGN, Amgen. Nothing yet for those either. Twilio, TWLO. Nothing for that either. Dropbox, I think is D. Or what is... DBX is Dropbox. Nothing for that either. Still waiting for AMC, guys. Nothing yet. And nothing for SQ. BYND. No reaction there. Zillow. Nothing. Dash, nothing. CHGG looks like they came out with something. So Chegg. Nothing for that. Just kind of sitting back, waiting for the numbers to drop. Hey, what's up, Tay? AMC earnings call is in 40 minutes. Armand. The actual earnings report should be out earlier. Again, sitting back waiting for these. 4:15, I think, is when they normally do it. So we got about 13 minutes for AMC numbers. Again, we're kind of looking at SQ. I don't see anything for Chegg yet. SQ, nothing. Lyft, nothing. APDN is ripping up today. Let's see, we got Chegg. AMC still sitting at 1817s. And again, guys, stick back. We're going to cover all the news for AMC, everything as soon as it happens. We're going to cover the earnings call as well. Currently at 1870s. Let me know if you're bullish or bearish on these. BBIG is T12 halted, which means that the NASDAQ is investigating them, most likely for manipulation is what I'm assuming. I've seen this happen before. It's never really a good thing, to be honest. AMC pumping up to 1890s right now, guys. 1890s. All right, guys, AMC up to 19s. 19s. Looks like AMC pumping up here. Up to 1919s for AMC. Let me check Twitter. AMC up to 1970s, pumping up. And after hours, guys, pump it up. Nothing out for earnings yet on this one, though. Let me check on my other sources. AMC is going to issue a dividend in form of APE preferred shares, according to the Wall Street Journal. I don't know if you guys saw this news here. Check this out. AMC up to 1920s, guys. 1920s. Let's look at SQ. All right, looks like SQ numbers are out as well. Let's check out these. Nothing out for AMC yet. Still waiting on those. Nothing out for SQ either. Just getting some market volatility from this. Check out this catalyst, guys. AMC down to 1880s. 1880s. SQ testing lows right now, guys. SQ testing lows. Again, we got Lyft. Nothing out for Lyft yet. AMC up to 1908s. 91s for SQ. Excuse me. We did have Twilio, TWLO. Again, so yeah, again, if you guys see this for AMC, AMC is going to offer a dividend. So they're announcing a dividend, a special dividend of AMC preferred equity units called APE shares. Interesting here. That's dope. All right, so Twilio did drop their numbers here. So Twilio posted second quarter revenue of 943.4 million. It's up 41% year over year. Second quarter revenue dollar-based net expansion rate of 123%. GAAP loss is 311.9 million. So Twilio numbers are out. Still nothing out for SQ, AMGN, anything like that. All right, so AMC numbers are out. Just got the AMC numbers here. AMC ripping up. All right, so we're going through this here. AMC flying up to 1960s on these results. 1960s on the results. Again, AMC numbers are out. Up to 1960s flying up for AMC. We're finding these now, guys. Give me 1 second. AMC up to 1940s. 1940s. It's not Ape Coin, Larry. It's Ape Preferred Shares is what is what they're referencing in terms of the dividend for Ape. All right, so total revenue is up to 1.166 billion compared to 447.7 million for the second quarter of 21. We're going to drop all of this here as we can. Here's the actual report. So we're just going to put this report up. This is all the numbers for AMC, and we'll give you the actual EPS numbers as we speak. But you can see total revenue is up to 1.166.4 million. So basically, it's up to 1,166.4 million compared to 447.7 million in 2021. Net loss improved to 121.6 million compared to 344 million for the second quarter. So much better net loss compared to the second quarter of 21. Adjusted EBITDA, which is earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization, improved by 257.5 million to a positive 106.7 million. Earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization compared to a loss of 150.8 million for the second quarter. Net cash was minus 76.6 million. Operating cash burn for the quarter was a positive 52 million. And available liquidity at the end of June 30th was 1,176.3 million here. And you can see AMC mostly reacted positively to this. They did post an EPS miss here, and again, we'll post these all these numbers right here so you guys can see them. It looks like SQ might be out as well, but here's like the full number. So AMC second quarter adjusted EPS of 20 cents loss, missed the 19-cent loss estimate. Sales of 1.17 billion, beat the 1.16 billion estimate. So a slight miss in sales, or a slight beat in sales, a slight miss in terms of EPS, which is profitability for AMC. Let's look at SQ. And again, they did report their special dividend of AMC preferred units. They're calling it the Ape Preferred Shares is what they're calling it. It was a very small miss. It was a miss of 1 cent. Miss of 1 cent. And again, you can see all this data here at the bottom. It was a miss of 1 cent. They expected 19-cent loss per share. They showed 20-cent loss per share. Sales of 1.17 billion, beat the 1.16 billion estimate. They also announced the special dividend of AMC preferred equity units. All right, team. So yeah, SQ did drop their numbers here, and again, we're waiting on the SQ. SQ post second quarter EPS of 18-cent per share profit, beat the 17-cent estimate. We're gonna drop this in the chat right here, so you guys can see this as well. Yeah, Larry, you were right on that one. To be honest, Larry, you were absolutely correct. Oh, got you. Oh, 108 coin. Okay, got you. Yeah, my bad. Sorry, bro. All good. Yeah, y'all hit that like button if you haven't already, guys. Hit the notification bell. We put the block number in chat. We did put the block numbers in chat. Second quarter EPS of 18-cent profit. Beat the 17-cent profit estimate. Sales of 3.96 billion. Missed the 4.35 billion estimates. Also, guys, I want you guys to do me a favor. Y'all do me a favor. And y'all go sub to Beginner Crypto. Sub to Beginner Crypto. Completely free YouTube channel. Completely free YouTube channel based around crypto. We'll consider it a favor. Everything we do here is free. We don't charge a penny. We give everything away for free. We don't claim to be experts. AMC currently sideways or anything like that. And, you know, if you could help support the channel here, we're going to pin this page. But there's the Beginner Crypto link is in the chat right there. So check it out. We will try to pin that as well if we can. SQ starting to pump back up. AMC testing lows. Go sub to Beginner Crypto. There's the link. AMC, the previous closing price for AMC is at 1820s, guys, 1820s. And so that's the level we're certainly watching, is this 1820 level. Now, we'll see if it can hold. If it can hold over that, then it's technically green on the day regarding AMC at 1821 is the exact previous closing price. It's the level at which it went from red to green and green to red. And so, again, we're over that now, so technically green, but if we break underneath that, AMC will technically be red. The earnings are already out, Adrian. Again, AMC posted second quarter EPS of 20-cent per share loss, missed the 19-cent per share estimate. By 1 cent, they put in sales of 1.17 billion, beat the 1.16 billion estimate. They also announced a special dividend of AMC preferred equity units. So yeah, that is the deal right now. And then the Tesla shareholder meeting where they're going to announce the split, I think it's at 5:30. I'm pretty sure that's at 5:30. It always does. You ain't saying nothing new. Well, yeah, I was responding to your question, what time is earnings, sir? Yeah, it's 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, I'm pretty sure. All Yeah, so 5:30 p.m. is the shareholder meeting for Tesla. SQ starting to dip down. AMC just broke under the previous close, going red on the day now, down to $18. Now, I think AMC has had a really nice bullish run over the last like 5 days or so. And so I think it's natural for a stock to pull back some because of that. I think earnings were mostly neutral in terms of like good, bad. Mostly small mixed results. They posted one beat and one miss, and they were both pretty negligible differences. And so pretty neutral earnings result. And I think AMC might correct a little bit. But again, as it gets down to the teens, I tend to think AMC is pretty cheap down here in terms of value. Okay, gotcha, Adrian. Okay, my bad. Dash ripping? DoorDash earnings were today. Yeah, SQ breaking lows. Yeah, my bad, Adrian. Dash up there to $93. So DoorDash. AMC just dumped down to 1750s. 1750s for AMC. Pretty big drop, man. Pretty big drop. All right, so AMC down to 1720s, guys. 1720s. What were Nets numbers? Got you, man. Hold on, let me see. Net posted, man, I hate it when they do this. So Net posted total revenue for at 234.5 million, increase of 54%. See, when you read it from the company, it always seems positive, but you got to look at the actual like EPS numbers to really see. And they don't give it to you easy. You got to basically dig for it. DoorDash posted a EPS miss of 72-cent loss, missed the 41-cent estimate. So a pretty big miss for DoorDash. Sales of 1.61 billion, beat the 1.52 billion estimate. So a small beat in sales, but a pretty big miss in terms of second quarter EPS. It must have good guidance. And it did have record delivery numbers for Dash. So I guess that's why it's up. But yeah, it missed on EPS. Mixed results technically for Dash. AMC dumping down to 1650s now. 1650s. So big drop for AMC. Your bell notification is tripping. In what way? Yeah, AMC dumping down. Yeah, so AMC down. Bounce it a little bit at $16. Let's see if that holds. All right, guys, 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Dash at 95.30s here. So DoorDash is pushing up. Again, we did have SQ, but man, look at AMC all the way at 17s here. 17s for AMC. So again, let me know if you think it's going to rebound tomorrow. Do you think AMC closes green tomorrow? Do you think AMC can rebound? We got the 18.21 previous closing price. Why down in the info? Well, they posted mixed results. To be honest, AMC numbers were pretty close to neutral. I mean, again, they posted an EPS. They missed EPS by 1 cent, so pretty close to neutral. Sales came in at 1.17 billion, which beat the 116 billion estimate. So they literally, it was mixed results. EPS they missed by 1 cent, and in terms of sales, they beat by 1 cent. And so it was very neutral results regarding AMC. They also announced a special dividend of AMC preferred equity units. And, you know, again, AMC's dumping down. If I had to guess why AMC was dropping, the most likely explanation is because this was baked in to a potentially favorable earnings report. So this big move here was already baked into when we released the numbers. And then since everybody was expecting better than this leading up to it over the last like 10 days or so, and we showed pretty close to neutral report, then I think we're just getting some profit taking and some, correction here. That makes the most sense to me. But again, I'm pure speculation, of course, obviously subjective. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Starting to rebound a little bit. It's back over 17. I think that's a good sign. I don't really like Beyond Meat as a company. I think BYND, again, I gave the analogy yesterday regarding BYND, them and Impossible. Impossible, BYND, them working with fast food companies. It's kind of like selling caviar at McDonald's. Like vegans are incredibly health conscious. They're not going to eat at Burger King. It doesn't matter what they could have freaking filet mignon at Burger King. Vegans ain't about to go there, dude. And so I think that they're spending a lot of money in the wrong ways and they're working on the wrong partnerships, and it just makes them look bad. I also think they overestimated their audience and their consumer base. But again, BYND is okay. We're watching it. Did BYND drop numbers too? Let me see what they are. Let me put on the music real quick. Hold on. Bitcoin bounced back at least a little bit. It's at 22.5K. 22.5K. Again, I'm looking for BYND numbers. Give me 1 second. BYND dropped non-GAAP, which is generally accepted accounting principles, of 153 loss per share, missed the 118 estimate. Sales of 147, missed the 151.18 million estimates. So yeah, they missed on both fronts for BYND. I'm surprised they're not down more, to be honest. SQ, I believe, posted mixed results as well. Most of the earnings today are negative. SQ dropped a second quarter EPS of 18, beat by 1 cent. Sales of 4.4 beat by 4.35. So I'm surprised SQ's not ramping up as well. Again, though, I think you guys really want to understand this. Okay, number one, AMC just started. A lot of earnings are actually followed up the next few days, and so short-term reaction is usually emotional, profit taking, all that stuff from people fearing that it's not going to keep going up. But as more traders start to get involved with it, AMC might rebound. If it gets back over 1820, it could make a run. Same thing with SQ. The big thing to understand, though, is that if you look at like the broader market with the SPY itself, for instance, right? The SPY itself, if you look at it over the last 10 days, it's been in the current state of the economy and market. We've had some pretty strong upward moves over the last 10 days. And so it's logical to assume that we might just be a little bit extended and overbought territory in the broader market, which AMC has been following recently. And so again, that's the best explanation on why a lot of these are dropping. The other reason they're dropping is probably guidance related. If I'm looking at this objectively, it's probably guidance related. So we'll see. What did Coinbase end up doing? Coinbase ripped up, corrected back down. Technically green on the day, but not by much anymore. AMC about to potentially break over 18 and go green again. It's at 18.15s now, almost at 18.21 where the previous closing price is. And so again, AMC gets over that, it'll technically be green on the day. All right, guys, again, AMC testing those levels at $18 now. Also, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, guys. Listen, everything we do here is free. We don't charge a penny. We don't sell anything. We don't claim to be experts. We don't act like gurus. We give everything away for free. And so if you appreciate content like this that's free, hit the subscribe button. We do this live every weekday morning. Help us push towards 82,000 subscribers. We're pretty close. So yeah, help us break that 82,000 subscriber level. And we're getting close. We're really trying to push towards 100K. We're also going to switch it to sub-only mode now, guys. But stick around. We are going to cover the full earnings stream live as it happens. So we're going to cover the full earnings stream live as it happens. You're going to be able to hear all of it live here on the stream. So yeah, hit the sub button. Hit the notification bell. Yeah, AMC's starting to move back up. SQ correction posted. Okay, let me see. All right, so block second quarter EPS was 18 cents. Yeah, we talked about this. So yeah, block second quarter EPS was the correction. So they beat on both fronts as well. And so SQ might start to rebound here. Again, I want you guys to really understand something. If you're not watching the previous closing price, you should be. Okay, because look at what AMC does. AMC goes exactly up to this level, down to the very cent of this level at 1821. You know, and so really important technical level to watch if you're not watching it already. It's the previous closing price, highly influential over a stock's price. But yeah, here's the correction for SQ. Thank you, Lorray. We appreciate that, man. There you go. Net numbers. Okay, I got you. Hold on. Let me check these out. And again, guys, everything we do here is free. So it's like, I just want to be a free resource and community. Like, I'm not selling courses or services or anything like that. We're just kind of giving everything away for free without claiming to be experts and just try to build a solid community of traders that are honest with each other about everything. And so we appreciate the support here, team. Of course, here is the net number. Somebody requested net. Joshua, there they are right there. Carvana. AMC starting to rebound here, though. Let's see if we can get it and hold over 1820s. That's going to be the big important level. All right, team. Should be fun, man. Should be fun. Let's see what happens the next few days regarding AMC. I think it's plausible that we might rebound. $16 has established itself as a nice support level too. And so we'll see if it continues to hold. Oh, man. All right, guys. So we're at 84s. 84s. All right, guys. AMC at 1760s here, guys. Again, let me know what you guys like. Should be a fun day, man. I'm excited. SQ just popped up there, 1760s. 1760s. Again, guys, we also have a script for the previous closing price, and if you're interested in it. AMC price seems right at 12 to 14, maybe. Dash. So yeah, SQ just popped a little bit, and actually that was a glitch or just a wick closing order. Dash is pumping up though. Dash is all the way up to 98.50s, guys. 98.50s. Question for you: is there a way to see in 15-minute windows when a stock moves the most over several weeks? Yeah, sure. There's a 15-minute chart right here. This is a 90-day 15-minute chart. And so these last two candles here, what was your name? Truck. These last two candles are 15-minute candles for Dash. And if you want to zoom out, you can see like the entire 90-day history of this. So these are 90-day history in 15-minute candlesticks. So yeah, there's a lot of different. You can really get essentially whatever time frame you want in terms of candlesticks, up to a minute in differences. So you can get 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minute plus, on TOS. Some of them, I think you can get less than a minute as well. Yeah, so AMC missed. Again, they posted a second quarter adjusted EPS of 20 cent per share loss, missed the 19-cent estimate. Again, AMC missed in terms of EPS, but they beat on sales, right? And the big thing to understand here is that the miss was very narrow and the beat was very narrow as well. And so AMC numbers are very, very neutral. And I think the reason we dropped initially is because there's a lot of people that entered AMC over the last 10 days here, and it's been pretty extended. Back on the 27th of July, this thing was at 13, 14 bucks. And so I think there's a lot of people that are short-term taking profit, and that's not necessarily a bad thing because, it brings value to it, and some people might be buying this up as well. And of course, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just kind of giving you some arguments on both sides here, I guess. Also, guys, join our Discord, completely free trading Discord. Again, we don't charge for any of our content, any of our stuff. It's all free. And so, yeah, hit that sub button, guys. Join our Discord. Give me a follow on Twitter as well. We did do a vote for Twitter. And the vote was calls or puts. We had 67.5% saying calls and 32% saying puts, basically. And if you want to vote on that poll on AMC calls or puts, here's the poll right here. Check it out. But is there a way to track it to see when in the day has been the best to buy? Thank you, sir. Well, best to buy is subjective, You can look at moving averages in that regard. I like to look at the VWAP. If you look at the VWAP here, for instance, the VWAP is going to give you a pretty good indicator of pullback neutral dips. So like if you look at the SPY, for instance, today was pretty crappy. So every day, there's going to be some days that are just not that good. But like the SPY will, or the VWAP will kind of show you pullback areas, you know, it really is identifying a trend. And so if it's above VWAP, it's a bullish trend. If it's below, it's in a bearish trend. And so you can kind of see like this purple line right here is the VWAP. A lot of traders just wait and buy dips to that VWAP and kind of just ride the trend. It goes up, it pulls back to VWAP, they buy it, it moves up, it pulls back to VWAP, they buy it, it moves up, it pulls back to VWAP, they buy it, kind of rinsing and repeating that, attacking the trend. Same thing with the downside too. If you look at like a downward trend, you can see kind of a similar thing. You know, here's the VWAP again. It's never exact. Like here's a great example of a downward trend on the SPY. Think about if you just if you shorted the SPY every time it pulled back to the VWAP, you would be making tons of money on this specific day. Look at this. And so the goal is to identify days where favorable price action is happening like this, and then attack it. You know, easier said than done, but just kind of giving you an example of some tools that help you kind of gauge where the best time to buy stuff is. Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate it. Yeah, we try. VWAP is the indicator I know the best. It's the indicator I've been trading with the longest. So I know it. I know a lot about the VWAP. I've traded it, and there's not a ton to know, to be honest. But yeah, I've just used it for years and years now. All right, GameStop. GameStop moving down in sympathy with it as well. Again, Dash has been flying up. They posted better than expected results, I think, for Dash. I'll just scroll up and see it. All right, guys. So AMC had 17s here. Yeah, hindsight's 2020, as they say. What do y'all think about this AMC special dividend that they just announced? See if I can find some more data on this. All right, so AMC said it's going to issue a dividend to all the common shareholders in the form of preferred shares, and is going to be paying the dividend and preferred equity units, which has applied to list as symbol APE is going to be the symbol for it. APE is going to be the preferred shares, which is basically a special dividend that they're giving to shareholders, common shareholders. So yeah, what do you guys think about that? Happy, sad about that? Good, bad? Let me know. You guys like that idea or not? Let me know if it gives you some bullish sentiment regarding AMC. And again, we're going to stream the full earnings call in about 25 minutes. 25 minutes, the earnings call is going to start. We're going to stream it all live. You'll be able to hear it all here, right here on this channel. Hit the sub button, guys. Hit the notification bell. We certainly appreciate it. All right, guys. Dash at 95.50s, 95.50s. BBIG still halted with their T12 halt, basically NASDAQ investigation. All right, team. Dash at 95.80s, 95.80s. Sheesh, bro. All right, so yeah. Dash at 96 here. We had BYD drop bad results all the way around, misses on both fronts. Again, Dash dropped pretty solid results. SQ had pretty good results as well. I mean, it was mostly neutral, but they did beat on both metrics, I'm pretty sure, for SQ. So it's surprising why they're down as much as they are. Again, AMC is consolidating right around 17 bucks. There's 17 right there. And so we're going to wait to see if it holds these levels and bumps up. Again, we're going to kind of chill and wait to see what happens on that front as well. And yeah, it should be fun. Yeah, ape. What do you think of Robinhood? I think Robinhood. I got to be careful because Robinhood goes out there suing people. I just don't understand Robinhood's business decisions here. Okay, number one is that if you're Robinhood, they should have understood the consequences of blocking, buys on AMC and GameStop back when it went crazy, and Doge. That's number one. Number two is that if you're Robinhood, how have you not created a Robinhood Pro or platform like that in the 5+ years that you've been around making millions and millions of dollars? Like, if you truly want your brokerage company to succeed like Robinhood, wouldn't the very next step be create a pro version of your platform, since your platform is absolute garbage, in my personal subjective opinion? Don't sue me, Robinhood. But wouldn't you create a Robinhood Pro? Webull has Webull Pro, really nice platform. You can use basic Webull if you want, but they have Webull Pro if you're a little bit more experienced, because I'm sure the bounce rate after a couple weeks on Robinhood is incredibly high. Traders use Robinhood when they're new and they don't know how to do anything else. And then once they actually learn how to trade, they leave and go somewhere better. And so in order to curb that bounce rate, you would think at this point in time that Robinhood would have been put out some type of pro platform that has actual indicators and real candlestick charting and all that stuff, but they just haven't, and so the only niche that they have is new traders, and that's not a big niche, number one, and the bounce rate's got to be incredibly high for their platform. And so I don't like Robinhood at all. I also think the weirdness that's been going on in the last few days for Robinhood has been very, very strange, considering everything. AMC bouncing up. It's at 1730s right now. It's at 1730s. AMC popping back up. But yeah, so again, I just think it's very strange. I think it's very strange when you consider that that Robinhood was just sued $30 million by the New York State Financial Department. And with that, one of the reasons they got sued was because they didn't have enough employees working on Robinhood crypto. And so they missed a bunch of stuff and got sued for a bunch of different things, right? And so it's very, very ironic. Following that, Robinhood announces that they laid off 23% of its entire workforce. And so it's like they got sued for $30 million because they didn't have enough employees at Robinhood Crypto. And then immediately following that, they announced that they laid off 23% of their employees. And then immediately following that, Robinhood flies up. I just don't understand that at all. It makes no sense. It's nonsensical. I guess the only sense that I could see here is that people are speculating that with 23% less workers, that's less people to pay, and maybe they'll perform better in their following earnings releases. But it's just odd, man. It's just odd. I've traded every day for 5 years. Very strange reaction to everything here with Robinhood. And again, I just don't trust them long term. John, how long do you think it took software engineers to create the Hood app? Realistically, as a mobile developer myself, I would say it probably took them maybe 6 months max, I would say, for that app. And I mean, of course, they've upgraded it over time. I'm talking about the base Robinhood app that came out 5 years ago, maybe 6 months, in terms of like software developing. Now, a pro app is going to be far more difficult. Don't get me wrong, but they could at least license it from somebody else. Like Robinhood could license DOS or TradingView or whatever they want to use and allow experienced traders to actually have the tools they need and stop them from leaving the platform in droves like they do. And so again, the only thing I think Robinhood CEOs are and again, subjective opinion, no idea if this is true, but it seems like they're probably lining their pockets. Understandably so. I mean, listen, I think Robinhood was really useful before every other company offered zero commissions. But at this point in time, TOS E-Trade, Schwab, you know, everybody, Webull, everybody offers 0 commissions now. So Robinhood's not different in that regard. Hey, my man Familia, thank you, brother. Hey, that's 2 days in a row with these donations, bro. I appreciate you, Familia. Thank you, man. Thank you for the hard work here to help us with great info. Thank you. Genuinely appreciate the support, brother. Thank you very much, man. It's tough, Matthew. John, do you trade futures after the bell since you have a 30K account? I can. Yeah, I can buy futures right now. I mean, you don't need a 30. Just to put this into perspective, you don't need a 30K account to trade futures. You can trade futures with a margin account with like $3,000 short, go long, as long as you're approved for margin and shorting. You can trade a futures. You know, you don't need the big money to trade futures. I mean, I have a $30,000 account though, so I can buy shares. You know, and I think I can buy the SPY shares too. Like, here's the SPY. Yeah, I can buy these if I want to, but. Oh yeah, how kind of them, Michael. Michael says, I got hacked on Robinhood and they told me that apparently all the signs of a hack doesn't provide enough evidence. They gave me money as a courtesy. What angels, Michael, man, what angels over there, dude. You know, just lovely, lovely angels, you know, working at Robinhood, just doing you a great service there, you know, just helping you out completely, you know. Yeah, guys, let me know what y'all are watching right now. Yeah, door. Zillow working. AMC at 1720s. Again, the earnings call is going to be live in about 19 minutes. Zillow got destroyed. DoorDash flew up. SQ reacted pretty negatively. So far, if you look at like the SPY itself, we've had mostly bearish action since the close. Luckily, we had a pretty big green resurgence prior to that, though. So kind of a break-even extended hour session here. Nothing too crazy. Nothing getting dragged down like heavy amounts, at least. Yeah, Lyft dropped some numbers too. How are Lyft and Uber doing, man? It's been a while since I've really been paying attention to these stocks. 1870s for Lyft, so. Net, yeah. Carvana. So yeah, Lyft looks like it dropped good results here. At least the reaction to Lyft results is positive for the stock. They posted second quarter sales of almost $1 billion, 990 million, beat the 987 million expectations. Active riders for the second quarter up 16% year over year. Revenue was up 11% year over year per active rider. Better than expected numbers here for Lyft. In terms of, what was the other one that people were talking about? There was Lyft. What else was there? There was Carvana. Yeah. CVNA. CVNA, mostly positive reactions here. Mostly positive reactions. And again, the earnings call is going to be streamed here live at the at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when the earnings call starts. You're going to be able to listen to everything here as it happens. The full call. Here's Carvana numbers. They posted second quarter sales of 3.88 billion, missed the 3.98 billion estimate. Man, I didn't realize Carvana put in that big of numbers here. They posted second quarter EPS though of 235, missed the 180 estimate. So Carvana actually posted a really big profitability miss. So when you hear EPS, it's just profitability, and so they missed it big in terms of that profitability. They posted second quarter EPS of 235, missed the 180 estimates. They also missed on sales. So why is Carvana up? The only justifiable reason is guidance. So let me take a look at their actual earnings report to see what they're thinking in terms of guidance. Yeah, I don't see any guidance data here, so maybe they must have posted something, but just a weird reaction, mostly a negative reaction to this. All right, so AMC down to 17s, guys, 17s. We'll see if it holds. Hey guys, we only need 200 subscribers to hit 82,000. Ridiculous, man. Y'all, we appreciate you guys. Seriously, we really appreciate it. Again, everything we do here is free. So if you want to sub, do it now. I'll never pressure you to sub ever. You know, if you don't sub, I'll hate you. But you know, I would never pressure you to subscribe here. Sub now. CBNA is at 3650s. Hood, terrible management. Yeah, I mean, again, I think the problem with Robinhood, and this is the real problem, okay, and this is the problem with any company, all right, is that when you build a company, you know, when you build it, it's very tempting to take the money that you make and just spend it, you know, but you should be taking that money and reinvesting it into the company, you know, and if you don't do that, the company's not going to grow. And now for some of these companies, it might be the smart move not to. In some businesses, it's the smart move not to. But with a trading platform as minimalist as Robinhood, it's almost certainly the right move to reinvest the money you're making. And so I don't know if Robinhood is necessarily doing that at a grand scale. And I'm sure, you know, the executives are getting paid probably pretty well. Again, maybe not all speculative, of course. Don't sue me, Robinhood. AMC breaking lows down to 1690s. 1690s. Man, Automod doing its job, bro. Doing its job. All right, team. CBNA pumping up. AMC down to 1670s. Again, 14 minutes. SPY is up there. We got SQ at 84. It's bouncing back a little bit. We'll see if it actually holds the gains that it made. Again, guys, do me a favor. Go follow me on Discord. My name on Discord is Nick Papagiorgio from Huma. And if you want to check out the Discord, here's the link right there. We certainly appreciate you guys. I work in software, you know, in the software business. You know, do not require corrective lenses, sir. AMC is up to 17s, guys. 17s. We'll see what happens. All right, guys. 12 minutes before the actual earnings call. Let's do this. Wish us luck, team. All right, guys, 17 is a big level. It's testing that level now. So it's at 1680s here for AMC, 1680s. Let's see if it actually holds. Again, bullish or bearish on this new Amc Special Dividend as preferred shares. It's going to be in the symbol APE, they're saying. Bullish or bearish, guys. Again, let's do a poll on that. So far, we got about 1,200 votes bullish or bearish on AMC's Q2 earnings. 76% are bullish, 24% are bearish. And again, let's end this poll. And we're going to go ahead and ask people bullish on AMC's announcement of special APE dividend. know if you're bullish or bearish on this, guys. Again, we got about 10 minutes before the actual earnings call, and we're going to be streaming it live as it happens here, team, so be ready. Again, so, it says, I don't get why AMC dropped. I'll try my best to explain my logic for it, at least what I'm interpreting this as. Again, if we look at AMC, you look at it like a 10-day chart, which is really, I think, the most reasonable one to look at in this situation. You can see that AMC's moved up pretty heavily over the last 10 days or so. It's moved up a lot. With that, the earnings report that they dropped wasn't incredibly positive. It wasn't super negative either. It was mostly neutral. They missed by 1 cent and beat by 1 cent in terms of metrics. And so with a neutral report, I think a lot of people are taking profit into this now. I think a lot of people that have rode this big move up here are now consequently taking profit, as the report that dropped was not the most bullish it could have been, And so with that, we're getting some profit taking. Now, at the same time, with that in mind, maybe it stabilizes and does some things in the next few days. Usually right after earnings, we get kind of an emotional reaction, which is why we're seeing the red here. And again, maybe in the next few days, we're going to see a resurgence of volume and on the upside, and we'll get some good stuff happening. So Fubo dropped earnings. I have Fubo. I should be paying attention to them. Fubo saw a second quarter EPS of 45 cent per share loss, beat the 69 cent per share loss estimate. Sales of 202.5 million, missed the 227.8 million estimate. So mixed results again. That's mostly what I'm seeing. They're mixed results. Quarter 3 guidance for 2022 subscribers came in at 350K. Quarter 2 2022 subscribers, is 347K. They see fiscal year 22 subscribers at 350. So on par with expectations on that front for third quarter guidance. So yeah, on par with expectations for third quarter. Sales came in missing estimates for Fubo, and they dropped an earnings beat in terms of EPS, which came in with a smaller loss than initially expected for Fubo here. AMC testing 17s. There's Fubo right there. Fubo seems to be reacting positively. And I mean, it's pretty neutral results. The beat was a sizable beat. And so the beat was sizable. Big percentage beat in terms of EPS. And what Adam Aaron said is AMC just completed a spectacularly encouraging second quarter that boosts our mood and brightens our prospects as we look ahead. They also announced the declaration of a special dividend. Company's going to pay out 1 AMC preferred equity unit for each share of AMC Class A stock based on the record date of August 15th. The dividend is expected to be paid out on August 19th, and AMC preferred equity units will trade on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol APE. He said, quote, the AMC preferred equity units will provide AMC with a currency that can be used in the future to strengthen our balance sheet, including debt repayments, provide capital for shareholder value enhancing and transformative investing opportunities, end quote. They also said that the quarterly results show once again that consumers, quote, will flock to see them at movie theaters in huge and eye-popping numbers, end quote. Attendance in the second quarter was 59.1 million for AMC theaters, which is up about 168% year over year. The U.S. attendance for the quarter was 43.5 mil compared to 17.8 mil last year. And then they said, quote, we would like to extend a special thank you to Dr. Stephen Strange, Tom Maverick Cruise, Elvis Presley, and all those hungry people eating Jurassic dinosaurs who graced our screens in the quarter, end quote. And so, yeah, bullish or bearish on AMC now. It's up to over 17, so maybe we'll see some more bullish action coming in here. Does eToro pay dividends to the app? I'm not sure about eToro. I've never used eToro for dividends. I think with this, though, what you guys got to understand is that it's essentially going to be, it's going to be its own symbol. And so, when they pay this dividend out, you're going to get a certain amount of APE shares relative to the certain amount of shares of Class A common stock that you're holding of AMC. is basically what this is, right? So it's going to be a dividend that's paid out essentially in its own symbol or vehicle as APE as the symbol. And so that's kind of what this is. Yeah, Tesla had a conference at 5:30, so it's going to be in about 25 minutes for the Tesla conference. Again, 6 minutes before the AMC call. And again, we're going to stream the call live right here. Call should go live pretty soon, sometime in the next... it's going to go live in 6 minutes exactly. Fubo at 344s, 344s. All right, guys. So AMC had 1710's pre-earnings call. Again, we got about 4 minutes here. 4 minutes. Let's see what happens here. I'm hoping we get some stuff. All right, team. All right, team. Yeah, let me know what you guys are watching today at the opening bell. We're at the opening bell tomorrow. Let me know what you're going to be watching here. And again, the earnings call should be starting pretty soon. Can you explain the APE dividends? Like I said, it's going to be a special dividend that's paid out in preferred shares, which is going to be under the symbol APE. So essentially, you're going to get a certain amount of APE shares, APE shares, relative to the amount of AMC shares you're holding. And that's how the dividend is going to be paid out. I like the idea. You know, it seems like a cool idea. But again, let me know what you guys think. Well, what Fubo is going for it is sports. You know, I have Fubo personally, and the reason I have it is because I hate Comcast. And with that, hey, baby. All right, AMC just dipped under 16, guys, under 16.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, so AMC dropped neutral results for the most part. Neutral results. Is that Rosie?
Mm-hmm.
Where's she at?
She's right here.
Hey, baby. What you doing, baby girl? Every time I go close to her, she won't let me. You want to see Rosie, the dog? Come here, baby. Here, grab it. Let me see.
Here, I'll stand her.
Come here, baby. Oh. Look at you. You were just the prettiest girl. Look at this dog.
Here. You gotta move the camera.
Yeah, hold on, let me show you. You were just the prettiest girl, Rosie. Look at this girl. You were just the prettiest girl. That's a baby. You just a baby girl. You just a baby girl. All right, guys. Earnings call starting in 2 minutes, guys. Let me get this ready. All right, Rosie.
All right.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna bring her.
All right. Yeah, so earnings call starting pretty soon. Pretty soon. Y'all ready for the earnings call? Again, starting pretty soon here. We're going to cover everything live as it happens. We're going to turn off the music and cover the full thing as it happens here, team. All right, baby. Love you. Ready? Let's get the call ready. It starts at, 1 minute. All right, I'm going to mute the music just for a second so I can make sure I get the call up and ready. So bear with me, team. Bear with me. All right, guys. So we're still waiting on hold. Still waiting on hold. Nah, yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Conference will begin momentarily. Thank you for your patience. I should please remain on the line.
Can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear that? You should be able to hear that, right? Sorry, I'm rocking out to the hold music. AMC back over $17, guys. Back over 17s here. So again, let's see if it runs. It'll be interesting. All right, good. Y'all can hear it. All right, guys. Let's see what happens here for these earnings. We'll see what we get in terms of these numbers here. Should be fun day. Let's see what we get, guys. Back over $17. I think that's a good sign. So AMC back over 17. Still waiting on hold music. Y'all can't hear it. I'm sorry. Yeah, they're rocking this piano. Haven't seen an earnings call reaction yet. Okay, well, stick around. You'll see one. Again, we're waiting for the earnings call to start. It should start at any time now. Let me get this ready so we can put. Still waiting for the earnings call to start, guys. Again, we're sitting on hold. They still got the piano music playing. What are your thoughts on buying SQ right now? I think I like SQ as a company. I think it's pretty extended on the downside too. I honestly like it as a swing trade over the next week. Again, I have no idea what SQ is going to do. Not an investment professional. Don't sue me. It might just crash for all I know. But in terms of my specific style of trading, I think there's value in SQ at these levels. I think that SQ had good numbers and it dropped. And so with that, it's also pretty extended over the last 52 weeks here. If you look at this, it's pretty extended on the downside as well. It was up to over 200, almost up to 300, I think, at the beginning of the year. So I think SQ as a whole is pretty extended on the downside. And with this latest drop, we might have some value in this dip. But again, who knows? All right, here we go.
Greetings and thank you for standing by.
Sound check.
AMC Entertainment second quarter 2022 earnings conference call. During the presentation, all participants will be in a listen-only mode, and afterwards we'll conduct a question and answer session. At that time, if you have a question, please press the 1 followed by the 4 on your telephone. If at any time during the conference you need to reach an operator, please press *0. This conference has been recorded Thursday, August 4th, 2022. And now I'd like to turn the conference over to John Merriweather. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Scott. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to AMC's second quarter 2022 earnings webcast. With me this afternoon is Adam Aron, our Chairman and CEO, and Sean Goodman, our Chief Financial Officer. Before I turn the webcast over to Adam, let me remind everyone that some of the comments made by management during this webcast may contain forward-looking statements that are based on management's current expectations. Numerous risks, uncertainties, and other factors may cause actual results to differ materially from those that might be expressed today. Many of these risks and uncertainties are discussed in our most recent public filings, including our most recently filed 10-K and 10-Q. Several of the factors that will determine the company's future results are beyond the ability of the company to control or predict. In light of the uncertainties inherent in any forward-looking statements, listeners are cautioned to not place undue reliance on these statements. The company undertakes no obligation to revise or update any forward-looking statements, whether as a result of new information or future events. On this webcast, we may reference non-GAAP financial measures such as adjusted EBITDA, constant currency, free cash flow, operating cash burn, and operating cash generated, among others. For a full reconciliation of our non-GAAP measures to GAAP results, please see our earnings release posted in the Investor Relations section of our website earlier today. After our prepared remarks, there will be a question and answer session. This afternoon's webcast is being recorded and a replay will be available in the Investor Relations section of our website at amctheaters.com later today. With that, I'll turn the call over to Adam.
Thank you, John. Good afternoon, one and all, and thank you for joining us. Today, we have tremendously exciting news to share with you. First, our results for the second quarter, which were massively ahead of last year's second quarter and exceeded market expectations for revenues, adjusted EBITDA, and net income. And second, our plan to issue later this month a special AMC preferred equity, non-dilutive stock dividend, as it will all be going, and only be going, to our shareholder base as of the dividend date. This is a move that fundamentally and deeply strengthens our company and will give us enormous flexibility as we go forward. These are exciting times for AMC and for our investors. I'll start this webcast by talking about the business. I'll then pass the call over to Sean Goodman, our CFO, to talk about our financials in more detail. And then I'll come back to talk about our special dividend announcement and the significant benefits that it brings for our shareholders. I cannot begin to put into words how much progress AMC Entertainment made in the second quarter of 2022. Thank you to Dr. Stephen Strange, to Tom Maverick Cruise, to Elvis Presley, and to all those hungry people eating Jurassic dinosaurs. Because they all graced our big screens at AMC, the second quarter was quite the success and our best second quarter in 3 years. What's more, and this is very important, they boosted Hollywood's confidence in theatrical exhibition, and they boosted Hollywood's commitment to theatrical exhibition. Just as we predicted, our improving second quarter results boost our spirits and serve to further convince that we indeed are making great strides on our path towards pandemic recovery. As you can see in our press release, AMC exceeded expectations as people came back to movie theaters in droves. Some 59 million moviegoers came to our AMC theaters across the world in the second quarter, up 168% from the same quarter a year ago. That's more than 2.5 times. They're taking us to new highs in our high margin food and beverage business. And thanks to their patronage, we generated positive adjusted EBITDA of $107 million in the second quarter of 2022, a $258 million improvement over that figure in Q2 of 2021. We generated positive operating cash too in the second quarter of 2022 of $52 million. That was a $178 million improvement from the figure of the same quarter a year ago. The second quarter marked the strongest North American box office since 2019. Numerous films shined brightly in the second quarter, but none shined brighter than Top Gun Maverick. I've seen it myself 4 times now. Top Gun Maverick is now approaching $1.3 billion in worldwide box office receipts and holds the number 1 box office position thus far in 2022. Maverick also broke all-time records by becoming the highest grossing movie of all time to open on Memorial Day weekend. It also is becoming the highest grossing movie ever, both for Paramount Pictures and for a movie starring Tom Cruise. I have said all along that people would come back to theaters in eye-popping numbers, and that is exactly what they did in the second quarter of 2022 and what they've been doing since. To the naysayers, who foolishly, in our opinion, have been predicting a secular decline of theatrical exhibition, all I can say is, well, you've seen my feisty hashtags on Twitter. You know what I say. The second half of this year promises to be equally exciting, with a great mix of family-friendly horror, action, drama, and comedy genres to please everyone, from young to old, including Warner Brothers DC Comics-based Black Adam, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and 3 Disney films, including the animated Strange World, and 2 very highly anticipated tentpole Disney sequels, James Cameron's Avatar 2, The Way of Water, and Marvel's Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Just last week, the powerful and poignant trailer for Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, was released and garnered a staggering 172 million views of the trailer in just the first 24 hours, becoming one of Marvel Cinematic Universe's top ever trailer debuts. As Nicole Kidman reminds us in AMC's now iconic and revered advertising campaign, given that Hollywood has great stories to tell, it's clear that movie fans are ever so eager to enjoy those dazzling images on AMC's huge silver screens. And speaking of Nicole, our ad campaign was so effective that we've signed her to be our spokesperson for another full year. The success of the second quarter has continued into the start of the third quarter. As but 2 examples of let the good times roll, attendance in the just completed month of July 2022 saw the highest number of guests visit AMC's U.S. theaters since December of 2019. And our preliminary July food and beverage revenue numbers appear to be the biggest single month figure at our U.S. theaters in our company's entire 102-year history. For full transparency, there is a dearth of new big movie titles being released in August and September. So things will slow for several weeks. Don't expect too much of us for all of Q3. But then comes the fourth quarter of 2022. Talk about star power showing itself in movie theaters. These movies and more will all grace our screens in just the 13 weeks of the fourth quarter of 2022. Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween Ends, Julia Roberts and George Clooney in Ticket to Paradise, Dwayne Johnson, Pierce Brosnan, and Viola Davis in Black Adam, Jessica Chastain, Anne Hathaway, and Sir Anthony Hopkins in Armageddon Time, Margot Robbie, Christian Bale, and Robert De Niro in Amsterdam, Tom Hanks in A Man Called Otto, Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie in Babylon. Oh, and don't forget the ever so much anticipated sequels to Black Panther, Shazam, and Avatar. So too, the movie slate for calendar year 2023 should also make us all smile. Our current internal forecast is that the 2023 domestic box office, the basic metrics suggesting the health of theatrical exhibition, both in the US and globally, is likely to be billions of dollars larger than that of calendar year 22. Billions of dollars ahead. We look forward to Q4 of 2022, and we look forward to calendar year 2023 with absolute glee. There were other strides forward made at AMC in the recent months since our last quarterly call. We've started the installation of the biggest environmentally friendly green initiative in our company's history, with the introduction of laser projection technology coming over the next few years to almost half of our US screens. And laser projection will make the pictures on those screens so much brighter and so much sharper that it's certain to excite movie buffs going forward. We're already in test market in Chicago and Kansas City with our partner, Uber Eats, for home delivery of AMC Perfectly Popcorn. and other concession items from our theaters. The early results are favorable, so we expect to roll out nationally in Q4 of this year. Similarly, recipe development for microwavable and ready-to-eat popcorn is well underway, going extremely well, and we look forward to being able to sell our popcorn products in grocery stores and/or convenience stores next year. We're also in active dialogue with a credit card issuer and hope to introduce a co-branded AMC credit card that can be launched nationally in early 2023 or possibly as early as late 2022. And at the specific urging of our shareholders, we are stepping up our game mightily on AMC branded and movie branded merchandise. As for Hycroft Mining, Hycroft just announced its largest exploration program in about a decade. Remember that heretofore, Hycroft has explored only about 2% of its 71,000-acre mine site. We have every confidence that our Hycroft investment will pan out, excusing the pun, to be quite lucrative for AMC. Speaking of investments, our board of directors also has authorized us to establish a fund of up to $100 million for additional transformative investments where AMC can seek to add value and thereby create meaningful additional value for our shareholders. Indeed, as I've often said previously, we are absolutely committed to transforming AMC into a bigger, bolder, stronger, and more successful company than even the one that existed prior to the pandemic. With that said, I'll now turn the call over to Sean to discuss our financials in more detail. Sean?
Oh, just one brief moment. And you may begin.
All right.
Yep.
He's good.
Thanks, Adam, and thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon. As Adam said, Q2 was a terrific quarter for us. We welcomed 59 million guests to our theaters around the world, and this is well ahead of the 22 million guests that we entertained during last year's second quarter and the 39 million guests that visited us in the first quarter of 2022. This attendance resulted in revenue of $1.17 billion. This is more than 2.5 times the $445 million of revenue we had in Q2 of 2021. And it's almost 50% ahead of the $786 million of revenue that we recorded in the first quarter of this year. But even more importantly, we achieved positive adjusted EBITDA of $107 million, a very meaningful improvement over the EBITDA loss recorded in both the prior year's second quarter and also the first quarter of this year. Our financial results clearly reflect the ongoing recovery of the industry and our business. As has been our practice during the recovery period, we believe that it's helpful to look at our financial performance metrics relative to pre-pandemic levels to best benchmark the dynamics and profitability of the business as our recovery progresses. This analysis shows that our per guest performance metrics during the second quarter were universally, substantially superior to pre-pandemic levels in 2019. For Q2 of 2022, on a consolidated basis, total revenue per patron was $19.73. This is 27% higher than Q2 of 2019. This was driven by admissions revenue per patron growth of 19% and food and beverage revenue per patron growth of 32% and other revenue growth per patron of 65%. This is all compared to the second quarter of 2019. In the domestic business, admissions revenue per patron increased by 22% compared to Q2 2019, and in our international business, the increase was 12%. And when we normalize for the strengthening of the US dollar compared to 2019, international admissions revenue per patron increased 16%, measured in constant currency. The admissions revenue per patron growth was driven by guests choosing to upgrade to the very best possible sight and sound experiences that are found at our premium large format offerings, such as IMAX, Dolby Cinema, and AMC Prime. Premium large format attendance represented 15.6% of domestic attendance in Q2, and this can be compared to 10.9% in the second quarter of 2019. And in our international markets, Q2 2022 premium large format attendance represented 10.4%, and this compares to 6.4% in the second quarter of 2019. In addition, the second quarter admissions revenue benefited from an overall favorable showtime mix, coupled with pricing adjustments, including blockbuster and opening weekend pricing. From a food and beverage perspective, we enjoyed extremely strong food and beverage revenue per patron as our guests continued to participate in the full in-theater entertainment experience. In our domestic markets, food and beverage spend per patron in the second quarter was $7.52. That is 35% higher than the average spend in pre-pandemic Q2 2019. And in the international business, food and beverage spend per patron was $4.43. That's 22% higher than Q2 of 2019 and 26% higher on a constant currency basis. Our significant food and beverage outperformance continues to be primarily driven by an increase in the proportion of guests choosing to enjoy our industry-leading food and beverage offerings, combined with them purchasing more items per each order, and both of which are made easy and convenient through our AMC apps. Compared to the second quarter of 2019, domestic other revenue per patron increased by 65%, and international other revenue per patron increased by 63% and 69% in constant currency. This reflects an increasingly higher percentage of guests choosing to reserve their seats and order their food and beverage using our industry-leading websites and apps, together with the benefit of growth and diversification initiatives such as renting out our theaters during off-peak times and revenue from various promotional and marketing initiatives. During the recovery period, we have been very agile in adjusting our payroll hours and flexing showtimes to reflect market demand and optimize efficiency. Our Q2 domestic attendance represented 60.5% of Q2 2019 attendance, but 85% of Q2 2019's attendance per showing. Let's move to cash and liquidity. We ended the quarter with a strong liquidity position of approximately $1.18 billion, comprised of $965 million of cash and cash equivalents and $211 million of undrawn credit facilities. The strong results for the quarter led to non-GAAP operating cash generated of $52 million. That's operating cash generated. This is a $178 million improvement compared to Q2 of 2021. Recall that this non-GAAP operating cash generated measurement represents cash generated before debt servicing costs and before deferred rent payback. Looking ahead, we would expect a return to non-GAAP operating cash burn in Q3 as we experience a seasonally strong, softer box office together with working capital pressures relating to the strong Q2 box office. However, we do expect a return to positive non-GAAP operating cash generated in Q4 of this year. Regarding capital allocation, we continue to pursue a balanced and disciplined approach to capital allocation. Our main priorities remain unchanged. One, ensure that we have sufficient liquidity to manage through the recovery phase of our business. 2, strengthen our balance sheet by reducing our debt and associated interest costs. And 3, investing in our business to enhance the guest experience. And finally, 4, opportunistically pursuing value-enhancing initiatives, including those that lead to diversification and growth of our business. As previously reported, during the quarter, we quietly strengthened our balance sheet by repurchasing through the open market approximately $72.5 million of our 10% second lien subordinated secured notes that are due in 2026. We did this repurchase for approximately $50 million, and this represented a 31% discount to the face value of the debt. As a result of this transaction, we recorded a gain on debt extinguishment this quarter of $39 million, and our annual interest costs will now be reduced by $7.25 million. During the second quarter of 2022, we also strengthened our balance sheet by repaying approximately $53 million of deferred rent, reducing our deferred rent balance to approximately $219 million. Recall that back in March 2021, this deferred rent balance was more than $470 million, and over the last 15 months, we have lowered the deferred rent balance by more than $250 million. We expect to further reduce this deferred rent balance during the second half of 2022 by another approximately $70 million. Actively managing our theater portfolio continues at AMC as we add new high-performing locations and at the same time eliminate low performance, all with the goal of improving guest satisfaction and enhancing our profitability. During the quarter, we added another 12 new theaters and we closed 3. This brings the total number of locations closed since the pandemic began to 98, and the total new locations opened to 45 for a net reduction of 53 locations. And I can tell you that the combined 45 new locations are not only substantially outperforming the 98 closed locations, but they are also nicely exceeding our underwriting expectations. CapEx, net of landlord contributions, was $36 million in the quarter. And for this year, separate and apart from any M&A activity, we expect net CapEx to be in the range of $150 to $200 million. Finally, before handing the webcast back over to Adam, I would like to share with you just how enthusiastic and excited myself and the entire leadership team at AMC is about the groundbreaking special dividend that Adam will now talk about in more detail. Adam.
Thank you, Sean. We'll open up the call to questions in just a few minutes. But before we do that, I'd like to talk about the decisive and bold action we took earlier this afternoon. After months and months of work to get to this announcement, we broke the news in the last hour that we will be issuing a 1-for-1 stock dividend of a new AMC preferred equity unit to our existing common shareholders as of the dividend date of August 19 later this month. This is a major step forward for AMC. In my view, probably the biggest favorable development for our company in all of calendar year 22, both looking back and looking ahead. Looking at the long-term future of our company, we believe this is truly great news for AMC and not such good news for those prophets of doom who may be rooting against us. Indeed, I just spoke with someone I greatly respect at the Wall Street Journal who saw our stock dividend announcement. He told me it was a, quote, genius move, unquote. Somehow I don't think the Journal is going to actually print that, but that is what he said. Earlier this year, I said that AMC intended to take important and bold steps to strengthen our company and to address some of the grievances that many of our shareholders voiced repeatedly in social media and in other forums. I also said, though, that the art form of leading a company is complex and one as much in the spotlight as AMC is knowing what to do and knowing what not to do, knowing when to do it and knowing when not to do it. I commented previously that, in my opinion, we should patiently wait until at least the posting of AMC's second quarter 2022 financial results. I did know, after all, that Top Gun Maverick and Jurassic World Dominion were coming. Well, we posted those results today, and in our minds, those results are incredibly encouraging as we show dramatically increasing attendance and increasing revenues, along with positive adjusted EBITDA, so very much improved versus the same quarter last year. As I said before on this call, thank you, Tom Cruise. So, as a result, AMC shareholders, I am happy to report to you that today we pounce. With the backdrop of AMC's Q2 favorable earnings in the second quarter, it is now time for us to take decisive and even valorous action. Look up that word in the dictionary, valorous. Today, we announced that later this month, AMC will be creating a new class of securities and will be issuing an AMC preferred equity unit stock dividend payable only to holders of our 516,820,595 issued and outstanding company issued common shares. This includes all of our U.S. and all of our international shareholders as well. We will issue these new AMC preferred equity units on a one-for-one basis. Investors will get one AMC preferred equity unit for each AMC common share that they own as of the record date in mid-August. Along with our common shares, which trade now and will continue to trade on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol AMC, this new AMC preferred equity unit also will be a tradable security. It also will be listed on the New York Stock Exchange starting on August 22, 2022, under the ticker symbol APE. Yes, APE. APE as in AMC, A, preferred, P, equity, E. APE, APE. And informally, we will now refer to our two New York Stock Exchange listed securities as shares for the common stock and as APEs for the AMC preferred equity units. For a variety of reasons, a dividend distribution in just about any form has been a long-standing request from our investor base. Today, we answered that call. So too, this issuance of 516,820,595 new APEs will essentially serve the same purpose as a much-voiced request for a, quote, share count, unquote, as the new AMC preferred equity units will only go to holders of company issued and outstanding AMC common shares. Again, today, we answered the call. Because the dividend is only being distributed to our current shareholder base as of the dividend record date, there also is no dilution from this initial issuance of the APEs associated with the stock dividend. Because these new APEs all go and only go to holders of company issued AMC common shares. The number of issued and outstanding AMC commercial shares will remain unchanged at 516,820,595 after the dividend is paid. But of course, each shareholder also will own one APE for every share of AMC common stock held. So, as of August 22, there also will be another 516,820,595 APEs issued and outstanding. Think of this as being very similar to a 2-for-1 stock split, except that in a stock split, an investor would get 2 shares of new common stock for each 1 old common share owned. In the AMC case being announced today, however, given that this is a preferred equity stock dividend, an investor would own 1 share and 1 APE in lieu of owning just 1 common share. Since this stock dividend being announced today is like a stock split, it's logical to assume that once a dividend is issued on August 22nd, the price of our common shares will fall. Vitally, however, and I cannot repeat this enough, for each owned share, investors would not own only a single share, but would own instead a share and an APE. So their economic interest in AMC, which is now just 1 share, would instead be the price of a share plus the price of an APE, both of which will trade on the New York Stock Exchange. And while no one's crystal ball can accurately predict stock market swings or volatility, the economic interest that our shareholders will have in both shares and APEs will be in a company that we believe to be considerably stronger than AMC is now prior to this announcement being made this afternoon. The issuance of APEs is made possible given the previously and repeatedly announced approval by AMC shareholders back in 2013 that the creation and issuance of AMC preferred stock could occur solely at the AMC Entertainment Board of Directors' future discretion. While each APE is designed to have the same rights as a common share and can convert into a share of common stock, that conversion decision is still solely up to our shareholders. Conversion can only take place if at a future stockholders meeting, the company proposes and shareholders, including APE holders, vote to approve the authorization of additional common shares. That is still our shareholders' call to make down the road. Or not. It's up to them. But here is probably the most important thing of all in this announcement about the creation of APEs today. With the creation of APEs, AMC is deeply and fundamentally strengthening our company. We already have shareholder approval in hand, such that our board could decide we can issue more APEs in the future above and beyond those going out with this initial dividend. Given the flexibility that being able to issue more APEs will give us, we believe that we would handily be able to raise money, if we so choose, which immensely lessens any survival risk as we continue to work our way through this pandemic to recovery and transformation. Rather than having to worry about survival, the flexibility accruing to us from APEs can instead let us continue our efforts to try instead for AMC to thrive and to soar. This new AMC preferred equity provides AMC with a currency that can be used in the future to further strengthen our balance sheet, including by paying down some of our debt and other liabilities. It also gives us the ability to seek additional shareholder value enhancing and potentially transformative investment opportunities. I believe that all of this makes AMC vastly, and I mean vastly, stronger. And anything that moves AMC so far forward in a single step is bad news. Bad, bad, bad news for those who wish us harm. Having said all of that, there are a myriad of details and cautions related to our announcements today. So I strongly urge investors carefully read our press releases and our SEC filings on these matters, which are incorporated herein by reference. To celebrate this milestone and as a token of our appreciation for our shareholders' continued support, we also will be offering a free I Own Ape NFT to all existing AMC Investor Connect members and to new members joining by August 31, 2022. Incidentally, we have some 765,000 people who've joined AMC Investor Connect in the past 13 months. Likewise, based on the popularity of the original I Own AMC NFT that we issued back in January to AMC Investor Connect members, to those who are in AMC Investor Connect or to those who joined by August 31, 2022, they will also be entitled to receive a free updated version of that I Own AMC NFT, Make It a Pair. When I think about this pandemic and the journey we have all been on together for the past 2.5 long years, I am ever mindful of our shareholders' dedication to AMC Entertainment, and if I can speak personally for a second, of their trust in me as its CEO. I want everyone listening to this webcast today, or on replay later, to know once again that my every decision and my every action is intended to work for the long-term benefit of all of our shareholders. I act and think like a shareholder because I too am a shareholder, and a big one at that. At the current AMC share price, I now own outright approximately $15 million of AMC stock. And counting in also my previously granted but unvested shares, assuming they vest at so-called target vesting levels, I have more than a $50 million economic stake in AMC. This is pretty obvious stuff, but that is a powerful incentive for me to do what is right for all of our shareholders. All throughout this effort, I've always been candid. I've always tried to keep my word to our shareholders. Always. I promised only a few months ago that we would be bold. And to that end, a few months ago, I promised that at the right time, we would pounce. Well, today, we pounced. Sean, let's move to questions, both from shareholders and from analysts.
Great. Adam, there's a question that just came in, and it reads as follows. It says, I saw in the press release that you said that this APE dividend will fundamentally strengthen AMC and has tremendous potential to create meaningful value for both AMC and for shareholders. Is this really as big and important as you claim it is?
Thank you for the question, Sean. Well, I didn't put it in the press release if I wouldn't believe it. You know, those lawyers read those press releases pretty carefully, and they make sure that I'm able to back up what I say. But I'm actually going to surprise everybody, and I'm going to say on this call right now, no, it's not as big and as important as I said in the press release. It's bigger, and it's more important than I said in the press release. As I mentioned in my prepared remarks, I think this is the biggest single step forward that AMC is going to take in 2022. It essentially takes near-term survival risk off the table. You can never say never in the world. There are always uncertainties. But I believe that the flexibility that we will get from the creation of this new preferred stock will allow us to raise cash if we need it. It will allow us to reduce our debt. It will allow us to do intriguing M&A opportunities. This is an enormous step forward for AMC. This is very good news for AMC. And we all know there are a lot of people out there in the world who are not rooting for AMC, this is not good news for them.
Thanks, Adam. And there's actually another one that just came in through the Twitter. It's from international shareholders saying, will international shareholders get the chance to fully participate in this APE dividend?
The answer to that question is absolutely yes. It's one of the things that we made sure would be the case. One of the things that has bothered me over the past year and a half is that we've gone forward with lots of offers to our shareholders, often through Investor Connect, but often separate and apart from Investor Connect. And often we're giving benefits at our U.S. theaters. That's because we have one IT system across all of our U.S. theaters. We operate in a dozen countries, and we have a different IT system and operate with different brand names all across Europe and the Middle East. It makes it very difficult to make global offers because we can't necessarily program it through all these disparate information systems. In addition to that, with respect to voting rights, there's something that's quite odd to us in the United States, which is many international brokerage firms don't have the capability to facilitate shareholder voting. And so many of our international shareholders feel somewhat either disenfranchised because they're not getting the offers, a free popcorn, a free icy, a free cup of coffee, or early advanced screenings that we've offered to our U.S. Investor Connect members, or they've been deprived of their chance to vote not because we're depriving them, but because their brokers are. And so we made absolutely sure that when we issue this AMC preferred equity unit, it will go into the accounts not only of our U.S. shareholders, but our Canadian shareholders, our European shareholders, and our shareholders scattered all over the world. I've received so many comments on my inbound Twitter feed from so many different countries where we have AMC shareholders. I must say, I enjoy your devotion to our company and appreciate reading your comments to me. So yes, this new APE, this AMC Preferred Equity Unit, will be available to our international shareholders as well.
Adam, I will just read the next question because I think it's quite self-explanatory here. Question says that now that the box office is recovering from the pandemic, how do you see the relationship between streaming, movie theaters, and film studios? How has it all changed compared to before the pandemic? And where do you see things going in the future?
So this is not a new question or a new problem. This whole issue of not streaming necessarily, but windows and Hollywood studios' commitment to theatrical exhibition has been a live topic really ever since the summer of 2017. And we've been in active dialogue with studios ever since. Nothing really happened to change theatrical exclusivity. With all that discussion in 2017 and 18 and 19, nothing really happened until the pandemic showed up in 2020. And just as theaters were closed, Hollywood could not distribute their movies. And so studio after studio experimented with different releasing strategies of their movies they already had in the can, including some other attempts away from theatrical exhibition. Some studios released films only to streaming, some issued movies to streaming and theaters simultaneously, some issued movies to theaters, but on a much shorter basis. Well, this experimenting went on for 2 years. But here's what I believe that everybody learned, especially starting with Sony's movie Spider-Man No Way Home that debuted in December of 2021. If you look at what's happened over the past 8 months with Spider-Man and Uncharted and the Batman from Warner Brothers, and then this big range of hits, one after another. Doctor Strange and Top Gun Maverick and Jurassic World Dominion and Elvis and Thor and Minions. Hollywood has realized again how much money can be made by releasing movies in theaters exclusively first. In addition to that, it's kind of well known that the share price of some major streaming companies started to take a hit, and they started to lose subscribers. And there was a lot of speculation that while the market might be big enough to support one streamer or two streamers or maybe even three streamers, how could it support 10 streamers or more? And I believe that you take all this together, and Hollywood is turning away from streaming. Wall Street is turning away from streaming. Hollywood is coming back to theatrical exhibition. We have agreements now in place with every major studio to take their movies that are released in our theaters on a theatrical basis exclusively for a sufficient period of time where we believe the studio and AMC can make money. And if that new window, which is like a month and a half of exclusive theatrical access, if that's too long, we'll be willing to shorten it with studios. And if it's not long enough, we'll be beating down the doors of studios saying to lengthen it. But you take all of it together, I think this is all very good news for AMC. We have a parade of hits on our hands that either started last December or last March or last May, depending on where you want to start. And remember what I said looking forward. It is going to be a pretty tough, slow August, September. So let's not get over our skis in being too optimistic about third quarter numbers. But look at the movies that are coming in the fourth quarter of 2022. It's going to be monster hit after monster hit after monster hit after monster hit. And if you think the box office is big in 2022, it's going to be billions of dollars more in 23 if our current estimates are accurate. So again, we're quite bullish as we look to the future.
Thanks, Adam. Question here from a shareholder and Investor Connect member saying, what are the bonuses and perks that are offered by AMC to its investors?
A lot. Well, the first perk is we all just announced that we announced that you all are getting a stock dividend in a couple of weeks. And by the way, if I can just add to my answer about our international shareholders, you should get one too. But if you don't get one, definitely contact your broker to determine how you should get one, because you're entitled to one. In addition to the new stock dividend that's coming out, we did set up the AMC Investor Connect program. We got more than 750,000 people who've signed up in its first 13 months. That's available to U.S. and international shareholders. One of the benefits of that is frequent communication from us about what's going on. For our U.S. shareholders, look at what we've done and announced to Investor Connect. Some free offers at our concession stands. We've had a new sort of major movie screening every month, or almost every month, in advance of its public release. In the world of movie fandom bragging rights, if you can see a big important movie ahead of its general release, that's good bragging rights. We've done that month after month after month. Another fun one for me anyway, is we've announced through Investor Connect that I, as chairman and CEO of AMC, have been hosting movie screenings personally, scattered around the United States, for a chance to watch a movie together with our shareholders. I've done it in 7 cities: LA, New York, Chicago, Kansas City, Dallas, Miami, and Washington, D.C. I'm expecting to do many more in the fourth quarter. And I can announce today with some delight that sometime between September and Christmas, I expect to hold my first overseas investor screening, probably in London, although it's possible we'll go somewhere else in Europe as well. And at these ones that I attend, I shake every hand in the room. I take a selfie picture with everybody who wants one. I've autographed everything from shirts to I even autographed a banana, one of them. It's a great opportunity to meet our shareholders individually, one-on-one. Been 7 of the happiest evenings I've had all year. We will continue to look for more ways to reward our shareholders, and especially on my plate is to figure out how to get some of these offers that we're routinely making at our U.S. theaters available to our investors overseas as well.
Question, Adam, about our expansion plans. Question says, will we see AMC theaters in Canada, for example, or more expansion within Europe?
Well, in Europe for sure, because as you said in your comments earlier on the call, in the last couple of years we opened 45 theaters. Most of those were in the U.S., but many of those were in Europe. And we keep on signing agreements on attractive pieces of real estate to open new theaters. We just opened a theater a couple of months ago in Finland that's already one of the most successful theaters in Finland. And that's true that we're looking for new opportunities in all the countries that we currently serve. But for us to enter Canada or other countries in Europe where we're not now present, you pick it, the Netherlands, Poland, wherever we may not be, the best way to do it is not go into a country and open a theater or two and be an irrelevant player in that country. The best way to do it would be to acquire something of some size and scale. And prior to today, even though we had $1 billion of liquidity available to us at the end of this most recent second quarter, being very careful how we spend it and invest it, because we wanted to make sure that our cash was always strong. With this new preferred stock currency that we now have, we can get much more aggressive on the acquisition front. And so it's conceivable, not definite, there are no current plans, but it's conceivable that we could do some international acquisitions. This is not a new concept to AMC or to me. All during the history of AMC has grown through acquisition. 6 years ago, when I joined AMC, 6.5 years ago, in my first year, we did 3 major acquisitions that took us from being the second largest movie theater chain in the U.S. to the largest movie theater chain in the U.S., the largest movie theater chain in Europe, and the largest movie theater chain in the world. Recently, just in the last year, we bought about a third of the ArcLight Pacific circuit, which had not reopened after the COVID pandemic. And that's going very well so far. The Grove and the Americana theaters in LA, for example, are already 2 of the 30 most highest grossing movie theaters in the entire United States under our management. We just bought 5/8 of the Bowtie Cinema circuit in the Northeast, and that allowed us to double our presence in the state of Connecticut, which is a major bedroom community to New York City, where we have a significant market share. And already the theaters in our Bowtie acquisition are performing about 20% better ahead of the projections we made in our modeling when we went forward with that acquisition. So we know what we're doing with acquisitions, we're good at it. And now that we have a new preferred stock currency at our disposal, we'll keep our eyes open on acquisition opportunities as well.
Adam, I have more investor questions, but why don't we take a moment to shift and see if there are any analyst questions at this point?
Absolutely.
Yes, we have a question from the line of Wald with B. Riley Securities. Please go ahead. Your line's open.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Eric Wold. A couple questions. I guess one, obviously the use of this new currency to potentially accelerate the deleveraging of the company and kind of pay down some of the debt that's been taken on in recent years. What, aside from any new actions you may take into major acquisitions or new entities, just the current state of the company, what do you view as the optimal leverage for a company like yours right now, and give your outlook into next year?
Eric, the optimal leverage for our company is a lot less than we're currently leveraged. Throughout the pandemic, we've taken action to reduce debt. You may recall that in July of 2020, we did a sophisticated bond exchange where we traded equity for debt, and we wiped out, by memory, I think it was $555 million of debt with the stroke of a pen, gone. Similarly, just a few weeks ago, we announced that in the second quarter, or July, I forget the actual day. I know we announced it. I forget the actual day we bought the debt. I think it was in the second quarter. That we bought $72.5 million worth of debt for $50 million, got a 31% discount on that debt. Now, 72 million out of 5 billion is like a drop in the ocean. But being able to get our debt back at a 31% discount, that was certainly a good day for AMC. And just as we did a sophisticated bond exchange in the summer of 2020, if we have debt holders who would like to give us our debt back at a discount in exchange for AMC stock, that is a great trade for our shareholders. Similarly, you all have asked us on previous calls about the deferred rent obligations that we took on with landlords, theater landlords, where we owe rent from calendar year 2020 or 2021, this year, next year, year 2024, and in the future. We've already been in contact with several landlords who said that they wouldn't mind getting paid early, and they wouldn't mind getting paid early at a discount if we could swing it. But we've been very mindful of holding on to our cash hoard, that war chest as I described it, because we wanted to make sure that we were always fundamentally in a strong position with liquidity at our side. But we now have a preferred stock currency that we might be able to use to reduce some of those landlord obligations, again, at a discount. How quickly we can delever, Eric, I don't, we're in the first hour of having this new currency at our disposal. So I'm not sure we can give you an exact number, how much debt we can bring down, over the next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, 36 months. What I can tell you is that we're a pretty creative management team. We've taken on a whole host of challenges since 2020, and strengthening our balance sheet and getting a better debt to EBITDA leverage ratio is very much in our bailiwick. So it should happen, and we'll be able to report more to you as we ourselves learn more.
Sounds good. Thanks, Adam. Congrats.
There are no further questions.
Sorry, operator?
There are no further questions from the analysts.
Right, we're going to go back to Sean. Do you have any last ones from our shareholder base?
Yes, I do. Let me take a quick look here. There is a question here. I think I'll just cover 3 more quick questions from the shareholders. There's a question here about Highcroft. And what is your timeline for the investment? And are there any anticipated interactions between Highcroft and AMC?
So in terms of Highcroft, I am so convinced that when the story is finally written, this is going to be a good one for AMC. I put out a kind of macho tweet a few months back that said, when the dust all settles, there'll be a lot of crow eating about the Highcroft investment. I wasn't going to be the one eating crow. I still believe that to be the case, in part because Highcroft has raised all the cash it needs to stay in business for years and years and years. Second, in terms of our interaction with Highcroft, I hear that Highcroft has picked up a very smart new member of its board of directors. That would be you, Sean, because Sean Goodman, our CFO, is now a member of the Highcroft board. But third, one of the things that was so intriguing about Highcroft is it operates on 71,000 acres of land in northern Nevada that's mineral rich. And it had only explored in the 40 years it was around 2% of its 71,000 acres. Gold and silver doesn't just exist in a small place. It spreads. Highcroft just announced, in part because of the cash, not in part, because of the cash that we enabled it to raise. Highcroft just announced that it's starting the biggest exploration program of more of its land than it has done in a decade. And while we won't know what the results of that exploration will be until they do it, you and I are hopeful that they will find a lot more mineral reserves that should be quite lucrative. As far as the timeline for the investment, we got in at a great low market price. We got an amount of warrants in the same quantity as the number of shares that we bought. So we basically double our economics without having to put up double the cash. And when we went into Highcroft, we didn't do it for a 90-day hit. If we wanted to do a 30-day or 90-day hit, we could have, doubled our money in a couple of weeks. But that's not why we entered into the Highcroft investment. We think there's much more there ahead of it for us. And so I think our timeline with Highcroft is sort of like a private equity firm. Hold it for 2 to 7 years and see what kind of value we can create for AMC shareholders. Sometime in that timeline is when I would expect, we know we got in, that's when I would expect we would get out, some number of years from now.
And a question here about AMC's growth initiatives. Person says, I'm particularly interested in branded merchandise, retail popcorn, credit card, NFTs, and alternative content.
I tried to mention it in my prepared remarks, and in the interest of time, I'm just going to say quickly that we're making progress on each of these fronts. I gave some timing in my earlier comments. I think whether it's our popcorn business, our credit card business, our merchandise business, you're going to see increasing activity beginning in the second half of this year and the first half of next year on all fronts.
And the final question that I will ask this afternoon is investors are asking for an update on our green initiatives.
So, the buzzword in the corporate world these days is ESG, and the E stands for environment. And with good reason, many of us are quite concerned about what's happening to the climate on this planet. Here in the Midwest of the United States, it was over 100 degrees for a lot of time over the last few weeks. That's hot. And it would behoove all of us to respect our planet if we'd like our kids and our grandkids to have a planet to live on. The laser projection announcement that we made is not a small announcement. It represents putting in $250 million of new projectors into our theaters. And the benefits are numerous. One, of course, is that for moviegoing, it's going to make for much better moviegoing. It increases the light levels on screen by 50 to 100%, makes the pictures brighter, sharper, clearer, crisper. Moviegoers are going to love it. But environmentalists should like it too, because laser projectors consume far less electricity, and we have thousands of them, and they operate, half the day, 24/7, or not 24/7, but 7 days a week. And they take a lot less energy. And a little known factor of our current 10-year-old projection technology is that they use halogen bulbs. And halogen bulbs burn out, and they burn out often. And so they need to be replaced, which happens to be expensive. And laser lights don't burn out anytime as quickly as halogen bulbs. But once you have a burned out halogen bulb, guess what you do with it? You put it in a landfill. And I think I'm told it has a half-life of about 5 trillion years. That's not really true. But the point is not having to discard, it is true that they got a long half-life. It's just not 5 trillion years. But not having to discard halogen bulbs is very good for the planet. We consume less energy. It's an expensive step for AMC, but it's a good one environmentally, and it's a good one for moviegoers. So I think you said that was your last question, and I'm going to wrap.
Yeah.
And I'm going to wrap. To all of you listening today, thank you for your affection and your passion for AMC Entertainment. We've been listening to all the things you've been telling us for the last year and a half. We've taken a lot of actions that reflect your thinking. And we took one today with the creation of APES that will trade on the New York Stock Exchange in just a few weeks under the symbol APE. It's an enormous positive step for AMC. We're thrilled that we're doing it. We think you should be thrilled that we're doing it. Over the long haul, we know that this company will benefit. And so this is a very good day at AMC because today we did pounce. Thank you, one and all. We're signing off.
All right, guys. So let me know what you guys think about that AMC press conference. We'll be back bright and early watching tomorrow. AMC, we trade a $30,000 account with $120,000 in buying power. Don't go anywhere. We're going to move right over to our crypto show. We got a lot of crypto news to talk about on Beginner Crypto. And so again, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Well, we will be back day trading, swing trading, and investing in the stock market, watching to see how AMC responds to this earnings call tomorrow morning in pre-market, bright and early, starting at 6:30 market time. So, hey, guys, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We appreciate you all here joining us today. And again, don't go anywhere. As soon as I close this stream, it's going to bring you to our Beginner Crypto show that we're starting right now. So stick around. We'll be there in just a second. And yeah, I appreciate everybody joining us today. Hit that subscribe button, guys. Hit the like button. Also, guys, be sure to go check out stonk.tech. They are a sponsor of our video. Great platform. It's the up-and-coming new age of trading social media. Is better than StockTwits, and the wait list is live now. We're going to be on it as it happens, and I'll consider it a favor if you join the wait list for stonk.tech. Here's the link for that. And with that said and out the way, we're going to move over to the crypto show. Good luck, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll see you over at the crypto show starting right now.